Hey everyone, Charlie here, and welcome to your master class for the second movement of the Beethoven Moonlight Sonata. If you haven't checked out the first movement yet, I'll link that down below if I can remember to. If not, let me know and then I'll add it later. But anyways, today we're going to do a master class on the second movement, which is super short. It's like, 60 seconds long or something? Maybe longer if you play the repeats. It's more like an interlude. I kind of think of it kind of like as an interlude between the first and the last movement. But anyways, before we start, be sure to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and make sure you're subscribed here, wherever you're watching this. But make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. It's all at Charlie Albright Pianist. Anyway, let's get started on this. So, normal bookkeeping stuff. People ask me what edition I'm using. This is Schenker. I don't particularly I wouldn't necessarily buy it again. I just got it when I was like a kid, and so I still have it. I'm not a big fanatic on what kind of edition you're using. I usually get like Henley Urtext just because it's like simple and it's easy to read and the paper is good and it doesn't do this where it just opens up on you. So yeah. So anyway, so there's that in case people are wondering. All right. So the second movement, yeah, see what I'm talking about. The second movement is kind of like a little minuet. So I think you can almost like visualize, maybe it's like a little girl playing in springtime and, on a hillside, and it's like Easter or something, and there's flowers and she's, running around picking flowers. It's very cutesy. It's very simple. But that doesn't mean it's easy, because especially when you're playing a piece with not a lot of notes and a lot of gaps between them, it's easy for it to become messy and not musical. So you want to be sure you place the notes in the right place, place the keys in the right place, and not let it run away from you, not let, kind of like skip ahead, because then it just sounds messy. So let's start from the top a little bit. So I like to think of this almost as like a call and then an echo, a call and an echo. So it goes echo, 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 echo. Or one kid's calling out to the other, and the other one's like hide and seek or something, and like bum, 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 bum. So the first four notes are going to be very pulled. Top line. Keep it shaped. Right? And it's important to keep them balanced. That what I just did there sucked. But the idea is to keep it balanced. Keep the top notes coming out. That's better. One way to, it's a little bit of a tangent. If you're ever trying to work on balancing like a few notes or a chord or whatever, one thing that I was taught by I had a master class from, I think it was Andre LaPlante when I was maybe 14 or 15 or something, and he taught me this. I was playing a Beethoven, what was I playing? Opus 101 or something, and he gave me the advice. You can, like, for example, if I want to like balance, let's say I want to balance that. So I want to balance it correctly. Let's say the balancing is bad, too much middle or whatever. Repeat the notes, play it slowly over and over again with the pedal down, listening carefully and adjusting. Maybe I need less middle. Okay, bring the middle down. Want a little bit more top. That sounds about right. And then when you can play it a few times like that, you should have it. And that can be useful. So that's one thing that I like to do sometimes. All right, so back to again. Now, before it goes into the second part, I take that second kind of iteration of two a little bit slower at the end. I kind of, decelerando a little bit. And again, when you're decelerando, accelerandoing, crescendoing, decrescendoing, if it's kind of abrupt and uneven, then it sounds like you messed up. If it is gradual and intentional, then it sounds like you did it on purpose. So even if someone doesn't agree with you, they could be like, oh, they did it on purpose. Okay, so a little slower. Swinging back into the into tempo. So one thing that can be difficult is when you're playing a piece with like a lot of rests. to play, sometimes people will kind of rush ahead, boom, 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 and it just sounds messy. So play the rest, as Mozart, I think, supposedly said, play the rest. Boom, boom, ba, boom, boom, ba. So you can imagine you're playing boom, 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 boom. So I'm gonna slow down a bit and then swing. This whole piece, or this part of it at least, kind of has a swing feel. Then you get to the part that it becomes minor, the relative minor. Or just for a brief moment. I like to feel like it's being pulled. It's almost like royal, like you're introducing someone. Oh, is that right? Oh yeah. Breath. Now, when it does this part, I sometimes play around with which note I bring out. Sometimes I bring out the top, and sometimes I'll actually bring out the thumb. And you can kind of play with what you like to do there. It's almost like 1, 2, 3. Things in music often happen in groups of threes. Like first time, didn't quite make it over the hill. Second time, didn't quite make it over the hill. The third time, we're up and over. And that's what's happening right here. So we got... And... like nothing happened, right? Then you go to the trio section. Keep the right hand light, and sometimes that's hard to do because you're playing octaves, so it's kind of a trick. But think phrasing, think right hand lightness. Repeat. On the repeat, you might, so in general, general rule of thumb works 99% of the time in music. Don't ever play the same thing twice the same way. General rule of thumb. Now, I can hear the people in the comments already. Oh, well, there's sometimes you have to play them exactly the same way. Like modern music, maybe you want it exactly the same way, just completely flat and never change. Okay, calm down. Most of the time, in most music, people shouldn't be playing the same thing the same way, exactly the same way, that is, twice. Just a general rule of thumb. I mean, you can if you want, but it's not going to sound so good. So, maybe vary something up. It could be the dynamics. It could be the articulation. It could be what you bring out. Whatever, right? So, the first time I usually bring out the top. Maybe the bottom. The bottom line. Pianissimo. Now, how do you play the right hand in those octaves lightly? So without pedal, there's ways you can kind of phrase, especially, there's ways you can make octaves not just all détaché. And one way is to play your, like for your right hand, for example, you're playing your thumb like you have to, but the right hand, you can kind of change the top fingers around. So the top line is, for the most part, legato. In this example, I'm just doing 5-4-5-4 or 4-5-4-5. And that's a whole lot different sounding than if I'm just playing 1-5 the whole way up, right? Also, you can kind of make it seem like it's more connected in legato by, shaping it, right? And same with the left hand with the bottom fingers. Sorry. That was poor, but that was better. Okay, so that's the idea. So you can do that with like 2-note phrases. I'm playing wrong. So like, even if they're not next to each other, you can do like 1-3 and then 1-5, right? 5-4, 5-4. So you can still like make phrases with it, and then with the help of the pedal, you can make it even better. Now that's very different than if you're just playing 1/5 the whole time. Which sounds just a lot worse. So give that a try. And then you come back to, you repeat back to the allegretto section, and then that's kind of a wrap. So light, precise, play the rests, try to give as much variety to it as you can. And I always think of it as kind of like very cute, very simple, very pure, very innocent. I think innocent is a good word. The first movement is very kind of, is pained, right? And then the third movement is just like furious. So the first movement kind of has a sense of desperation under the notes. That's like that internal, like withheld. The third movement is kind of like this outpouring of desperation. And the second movement is like pure innocence. It's almost it kind of like, as we were talking earlier, it's kind of like a young child playing in a field or something. It's just pure innocence. And so if you can kind of bring a little sense of that to this movement, I think it might take the playing to a new level. So hopefully this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll see if I can get to those. And be sure to like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It's all at Charlie Albright Pianist. And I'll see you in the next one.